Good morning, everyone. I'm Sheila Wybrow, a member of your Board of Trustees. Welcome to you, old friends and new, young and seasoned. You are an essential part of our celebration today, whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst. We are stronger because you are with us. Whether you join us in person or online, we're glad you're here. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. Just as you are welcome here. As we do each week and as we begin our gathering, I respectfully acknowledge that I speak to you today from occupied Puyallup and coastal Salish ancestral lands. I pay respect to elders past and present and extend that respect to their descendants and all Indigenous people. We are joining you again today in multi-platform mode, and you'll see some of us in the sanctuary and others zooming in online. For those meeting in person today, we invite you to join us for coffee time following the service. Red mugs are for visitors who would like to chat. For those in person, this facility is equipped with a hearing assistance system. Devices are available at the table at the back of the sanctuary. Scott Redmond and Stacy Kopsha will be leading a multi-age religious exploration group beginning next Sunday, April 9th, with egg dyeing. And we need some folks to volunteer to donate a dozen hard-boiled eggs for this activity. On Sunday, April 16th, we'll begin our formal curriculum with spirit play and adapt it for children who register for the program. Youth group will also resume on April 16th during the service and will be led again by Dave Cerny. Registration forms for a religious exploration are now available online. You can find the link in the e-news or on the religious exploration blog post. As we resume the RE program, we need volunteers to support it. So please see Chrissy Kim or email, she's right over there, or email board@tahomauu.com to sign up to volunteer to help with our children. We need extra people to make this work. And a big thank you to all volunteers who came yesterday downstairs to clean. All the toys were washed in the nursery, all the shelves, the walls. The social hall is completely cleaned. The youth room has been cleaned, and we are ready for families starting downstairs starting next week. As always, yay, hooray. As always, details for our upcoming services can be found on our website or in the e-news. If you don't already subscribe to the e-news, you can find the e-news link on our website where you can also subscribe. Earth Day is April 22nd, and TUUC will join in the Earth Day cleanup at Wapato Park from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And this is a family and all ages event. Please check the e-news or talk to Fran McLaughlin, who's right back there. Next Sunday, April 9th, we'll reflect on what life brings us, whether deserved or undeserved, and how we respond, with Reverend Linda and her sermon, What We Get. Today, we join with Reverend Linda to explore her message, Plotting the Course. And so now let us join together in worship.
Good morning, everyone. It's good to see everyone today. I will note to you that I have had 3 negative COVID tests, but I clearly have something. So I'm going to stay masked except when I'm speaking here at the pulpit today, just for safekeeping's sake. I trust that you all appreciate how that works these days. Our opening words are by Arlen Goff. Thresholds. We cross them every day from room to room, from outside to inside and back again, from here to there, from anywhere to everywhere, from age to age. Each threshold offers an opportunity for change, for renewal, for transformation, from what we were and what we are to what we can be. In this hour and in this place, we cross a threshold from our day-to-day everydayness into space and time to be attuned to one another, to the sacred, to the holy, to an awareness of new life pregnant with possibilities. How will we be renewed in this moment? How will we be changed in this hour? How will we be transformed from the gathering of this beloved community? Together, we will discover it is good to be together. I'd like to ask Dave Hackett to come and light our chalice for us today. And let us join in saying our unison chalice lighting words. We light this chalice in deep respect for the mystery and holiness of life, in honor and gratitude for those who have gone before, with love and compassion for those who dwell among us, and with hope and faith for the generations to come. Our opening song is Come, Come, Whoever You Are. And Sheila is going to come lead us. It's a round, y'all. We're going to have fun, right? Right? We're going to have fun because we love rounds because they're so pretty.
Sing it 3 times. First time in unison, second time, group 1 is over here. You'll sing with me, and Linda will lead group 2.
188 in the gray hymnal.
Oh, yes.
Yes, that's right. We are getting words up here. Never mind.
Three times, first time in unison. Thank you. Come, come, wherever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, come, whoever you are. Come, come, whoever you are. There's no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, come, whoever you are. Wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, come, whoever you are. Wanderer, worshiper, lover
those of you who are young and young of heart are welcome to come forward. Hey, are you? Yay! I'm excited for you guys because I think that's going to be like way fun. I actually know that's going to be way fun. And while we're here, being excited about it being way fun, could we see the people who were here yesterday helping to clean up? Would you all stand up? Go ahead, stand up if you were here to help clean up. We have Jan over there. We have Dave in the back. Woo! Tandy and Sue, or at least Tandy was here yesterday, right? Yeah! Woo! I'm sorry, I forgot to lower the camera. Of course I forgot to lower the camera. Don't I always forget to lower the camera? No, I don't, you're right. I do a lot of the time. Okay, did you find it? Okay, thanks, Grant. All right, let's see if we can get the folks online back with us. And I go to 3. Yes. All right. Here we are. Okay, I'm a little ringy in here. So, one of the things about Unitarian Universalists that I really, really love is that our faith allows us, encourages us, suggests that we should find our inspiration in lots of different places, right? That's one of the things that's really special about Unitarian Universalists, is that we love finding things and inspiration in all kinds of different places. So I found inspiration recently in my bathroom while I was brushing my teeth and noticed that on the side of the Kleenex box, right? Does everybody have one of these on the back of their toilet, right? On the back, it says, embrace a new perspective. It says it right there. Embrace a new perspective. Did you know that you could find meaning and good advice on your Kleenex box? You never know what kind of thing. And then I noticed, the other thing is, I noticed that there are these 2 little dots, right? What do those remind you of? What does that make you think of? Anyone? 2 little dots that might be looking at you? I'm sorry? Human beings. Well, yeah, a little more precise than human beings. What on human beings might look like that? Come on, somebody knows. Eyes? Did I hear eyes? You think? Anybody? Yeah? Well, as it happens, and I know you're surprised by this, as it happens, I happen to have some eyes. And the thing about eyes, one of the things about eyes, is that they do help us think about, when we put them on something other than a human face, they can help to remind us that there are connections. That, like, we think about this as kind of being inanimate, right? Let me see if I can do this. They're not going to let me, are they? I should have had these taken off beforehand. Huh? They're not stuck together. Oh, you want me to stick them together so that it can be one big eye that kind of looks everywhere? Cindy has great ideas. Did y'all know that? Oh, and they're different sizes. But if I put these up here, what would they be? Have you all had a morning like this? Have you had a morning like this? I'm so glad to know that I'm not alone in having a morning like this. But if I put this up here, it would give us a sense, or just one, it would give us a sense of this being important and being like another person. If we put eyes around in the world, we get a sense of everything being connected to us, all of us being together. And looking at things in different ways helps us, as I say, to get a different perspective, like those eyes. Anybody want to help me up here?
see if we can get these. I want to at least put them on the Kleenex box. Do you want to help? Here, you want this one? Do you want to help? You can come and help. Here, do you want a big one? You can have a really big one. Look at you, you got it done. Here, put it on. Oh, they are hard to get off.
It's adjusted up, but it'll really like tap up there.
Yeah, I think it's really hard. So, oh, awesome. Will you put it on? I think we're just going to have lots of eyes on here to remind us, one, that we're always surrounded by lots of things that can be meaningful to us. Would you like a little help? Let me see if I can get that started for you. I'm going to put mine up here. Because now I've got it. Maybe I've got it. Maybe I don't have it. You what? You want to keep trying it? All right. I am not having much success with this one. You had more success than I did. So the other thing to say, as we sit here doing this, is that one of the things that helps give us perspective is when, thank you for that, is when we join together to make things work. Where do you want to put it? You can put it wherever you like. All right, thank you so much. So remember that part of what, one, we can find important messages kind of wherever we look, as long as we're paying attention to it. And it's always good to find a new perspective. And I think that'll do it for us this morning. Thank you guys for coming up with me. Could we pick these up and just drop them in my hand, please? Thank you. And if adults could rise and form an arch, we're going to sing them down the aisle. Oh, man.
Well, hello, everybody. Let's take a moment to shift into a time of generosity. This congregation is sustained and supported by the congregations of the people that are gathered today in the sanctuary or on Zoom, and other members and friends. So there'll be a basket passed around the sanctuary, and those of you who are online can follow the instructions there on the slide or in the chat. But please take advantage of one of these ways and share with us so that we can help this place and the building we sustain and maintain, and the people that we sustain be supplied by our gifts. Thank you.
Please join me in saying the words for the dedication of our offering. We dedicate ourselves and our offerings to the work of this congregation, weaving a tapestry of love we call community, both within and beyond these walls. And now I invite you to take a few moments for some reflection or meditation or just stillness, as is most your custom. We'll begin with a poem, Midlife by Julie Cadwallader Staub, and then have some time of stillness together. Close your eyes and settle in, and let us start with these words. This is as far as the light of my understanding has carried me. An October morning, a canoe built by hand, a quiet current. Above me, the trees arc green and golden against a cloudy sky. Below me, the river responds with perfect reflection, 100 feet deep, 100 feet high. To take a cup of this river, to drink its purple and gray, its golden and green, to see a bend in the river up ahead and still say yes. Let us pause in stillness together. So may it be. Amen.
For our reading this morning, Linda has selected You Are There by Erica Young. You are there. You have always been there. Even when you thought you were climbing, you had already arrived. Even when you were breathing hard, you were at rest. Even then, it was clear you were there. Not in our nature to know what is journey and what arrival. Even if we knew, we would not admit. Even if we lived, we would think we were just germinating. To live is to be uncertain. Certainty comes at the end.
Good morning, friends. I have some news to share with you this morning. Our beloved minister has submitted her resignation letter to the Board of Trustees. We have accepted her resignation with sadness and also with some joy. Sadness for the loss to our congregation of the many gifts Linda has brought to us and the relationship she has built during her 9 years of tenure here. Linda came to us after a challenging time in our congregation's history. She helped us heal and grow. She brought fresh perspectives and challenged us to stand on the side of love with her and our neighbors. We will each grieve her loss from our community in our own way. We also see some joy here. Joy for Linda and her new adventure, which she will share shortly. She has served us well, and it is time for her to seek a new adventure and new challenges. And while change is scary, it is normal for organizations such as churches to change leadership from time to time. Each leader brings their own strengths and challenges with them. And Linda has given us her devotion for the past 9 years. We have gone as far as we can with each other, and while it's been a great ride, it's time for change for her and for us. King Whitney Jr. said, "Change has a considerable psychological impact on the human mind. To the fearful, it is threatening because it means that things may get worse. To the hopeful, it is encouraging because things may get better. To the confident, it is inspiring because the change exists to make things better." If I'm honest, I cycle through all of these feelings and outlooks when faced with large changes in my life, such as this one. One thing that I am certain of is that Linda and the ministers who have gone before have given us the tools to successfully navigate this change and come out stronger for it. So friends, what comes next? Linda's last working day with us will be June 18th, and then she will be on leave until her last official day, which will be July 15th. The board is consulting with the transition team at the UUA on a search for our next minister. If we can afford a full-time minister, we will move forward with an interim minister. If we cannot afford a full-time minister, we will seek a contract minister. Much will depend on the state of our finances and our upcoming pledge drive. With Libby's last day, which was Friday, and being in the process of hiring a new office administrator, we hope to have a more complete picture of our finances soon. Change is inevitable. We are certainly in a time of change and transitions. And I would like to think that Marilyn Monroe was right when she said, "Sometimes good things fall apart, so better things can fall together."
Chrissy will be around after the service. Yep, I'm getting there. And Chris George is also a board member, as is Sheila, if you have some questions for them. I'll share with you that in Port Townsend today at the Quimper Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, they are announcing my developmental ministry there. I'm sad to go, and I'm looking forward to the journey that comes along. There's an adage that I've had around for me for a long time that says, "We plan, God laughs." I don't know when it settled into my bag of adages that I can pull out at an appropriate moment, but I do know that as long as I've had it, there have been few times when it isn't actually absolutely appropriate. And it seems like this is one of those times when it is especially apt. I don't imagine that many or any of you arrived here this morning, either virtually or in person, who expected to hear about a dramatic change in our congregational life. And I know that there are a wide variety of responses out there. Some sadness, maybe some anger, some confusion, maybe some relief, and maybe even some panic about what comes next. Be assured that that the way will become clear, and you are fortunate to have support from the UUA through the process of figuring it out. Another adage that has accompanied me probably for, 30 some years came from a leadership book. I don't remember what it was, what it was, who wrote it, But I remember writing down and have carried with me the idea that the only ones who like change are babies in wet diapers. Right? And can I say, not even all of them, right? I mean, this is the thing. As one who has companioned babies and as a mother of one who's no longer a baby, not even all babies like change, even to wet or poopy diapers. A short phrase, finally, to share with you this morning to accompany us, is best shared by its acronym, which is AFGO, AFGOs. Some of you know about AFGOs. So what the acronym means, and I'll let you fill in that blank, growth opportunity. And, that's where we are. That's where we are. Truth be told, I think we're in that kind of situation more often than we notice or would like to admit. We have a perception of safety and stability that is not at all surprising, but it is an illusion in some significant ways. I think there's always more peril in the world than we perceive, but without some measure of denial and our ongoing propensity to assume that all will continue as it has, because of all of that, we tend to ignore that propensity. I know I've told this story some years ago of when I heard a presenter talk about how we seem to be able to climb into these metal boxes and then propel them along at speeds that no human being could attain without our help, without their help. And the constant peril that is involved with that, when you really spend time thinking about the constant peril, even with all the safety stuff, right? Driving, when I first heard that, driving became utterly terrifying to me until my denial took over again. Every now and then, when I am speeding along on my way here or on my way home, my breath catches because there's no assurance, friends. It's crazy dangerous to do this, even with all the safety stuff. When we recognize that most of what happens to us is in fact out of our control, and our grand plans can go awry at any moment, still we continue as if we were in charge of something, the creators of our own futures. And there's not really any other way to do that. If we stopped doing anything that involved any risk, we'd be frozen. We'd never move. So we keep going along until something stops us. And those kinds of things that stop you, right? You lose your job, or somebody beloved dies before their time. Your aging body betrays you, and you can't do the things that you've always done. A child leaves in anger, and you can't find a way to fix it. You break your own heart by hurting someone you love, and you can't find a way to make it right again. None of us avoid those times in our lives. We think we know what's going to happen, how things work, and then something intervenes, something changes, and we have to figure out what to do next. How do we start to plot that course? How do we make that chart to get us through? Almost always, the first thing is to breathe. Let's do that together, friends. Let's take a moment to breathe. Settle into your seat. Close your eyes if you're comfortable at that. Imagine that there is a silken thread drawing up through the crown of your head, lifting your head up. Soften your shoulders. Let them just come down. Your shoulder blades drop down your back. And take a deep inhale through your nose And a nice big exhale through your mouth. And consciously do that a couple more times. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. It is easy to forget that just this action, just this simple pausing to take some long, slow breaths calms our nervous system, helps us move on with more intention and more focus. Breath also helps us to stay in the moment. Whenever imagining catastrophes or perfection arise in our busy minds, we're better off charting the course from a centered heart and mind and a calm nervous system. Breath always helps that. So breathe. It's always the first step. Second, focus on gratitude. In my family right now, we're awaiting news of what might be a difficult diagnosis. And that's all the information I'm going to give you today because it's all the information I have. And the words that my family and I are speaking to each other are words of love and gratitude, much more than they are of fear. You know how this is too. When there's change in our lives, there's always loss. And where there's loss, there's always grief. And where there's grief, this is essential. Where there's grief, there is always, always love. Centering ourselves in love doesn't change the fear of the moment at all, but it helps us to remember that there is so much more than the loss and the fear. Poet Andrea Gibson reminds us, regret is a time machine to the past, and worry is a time machine to the future. Gratitude is a time machine to the present. The truth is that all we can control in moments of change is how we will live into it. And staying in the present moment is one of the best ways to do that. Thank you for that exclamation point. The truth is, all we can do, all we can control in moments of change is how we choose to live into it. And we can do that best by staying in the present moment. The next step is to look forward. Erica Jong reminds us that we rarely know what is journey and what is arrival. So it's not a matter of seeking some kind of certainty, but rather holding on to an openness, and when it's possible, an awareness of the possibility and promise that is ahead of us. So remember that change is in the room, remember that change is always the norm and not the exception in life. Everything changes all the time. Second, remember to breathe. And third, center yourself in love and gratitude. And then remember that this is not a lonely journey that we're on. I think about the theologian, Mr. Rogers. You know the theologian, Mr. Rogers, do you? If you didn't know, he was not only a kids' television rock star, but also an ordained Presbyterian minister. And he told children and us that when things are frightening or hard, we should look for the helpers. Know in this moment that we all have many helpers surrounding us. As a congregation, you are not alone, especially as you come into this transition that you're entering. You have strong leadership to support you. Your board has already begun the work of beginning to find a new to find new ministerial support. But more than that, we have support for our wider organization, Unitarian Universalist Association. That's our national organization, and particularly from the Reverend Sarah Schur, the person on the UUA staff who is assigned to support our congregation. And don't forget that you all have each other in the midst of this. And you yourself may be the helper that can assist in what's coming. And you have what you need, I truly believe, to move through this with grace and with care. Finally, the words of Julie Staub's poem from our meditation open to us the next piece we need in times of change. Evoking a journey on a river, she ends her poem by suggesting to take up a cup of this river, to drink its purple and gray, its golden and green, to see a bend in the river up ahead and still say yes. Say yes. In charting the course, you need not know, and mostly don't actually know, what the destination will finally be, how you will arrive, or what you will find there. We can only ever vaguely apprehend direction and intention, seeing only that first bend, not the full course of the water. Still, we need to say yes, and yes again, and yes again, as the path becomes more clear. Change is the norm in our lives. Remember to breathe. Center in love and gratitude. Look for the helpers, be the helper, and say yes, even though you don't know what's coming next. Say yes. None of this is to say that it's going to be easy. There will be some hard decisions, no doubt, and times when all seems lost and confusion and sadness may be around. But holding to these steps can allow you to chart the course towards what comes next and will help to guide you through the process. Keep breathing. Center in love and gratitude. Look for the helpers. Be the helpers. Say yes. We will all find what comes next on the journey along together for these next few months. I trust that the future holds possibility and promise, and this moment holds love and gratitude. Let us live into it all, my friends. So may it be. I invite you now to pause for a few moments. Time for a little reflection. If there's something today that has touched you, I invite you to take a moment to set an intention for how you might carry it out into the world today. Let us pause in stillness. So may it be. Amen. Let's join in singing our closing hymn, number 131, Love Will Guide Us.
Love will guide us. It will.
Love will guide us. Peace has tried us. Hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us. Peace has tried us. Hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.
Thanks to Sheila for being our song leader this morning. Our closing words, Imaginary Conversation by Linda Paston. You tell me to live each day as if it were my last. This is in the kitchen, where before coffee I complain about the day ahead, that obstacle race of minutes and hours, grocery stores and doctors. But why the last? Why not live each day as if it were the first? All raw astonishment, Eve rubbing her eyes awake that first morning, the sun coming up like an ingenue in the east. You grind the coffee with a small roar of a mind trying to clear itself. I set the table, glance out the window, where dew has baptized every living surface. Let us go, my friends, living this day as if it were the first, full of promise, full of freshness, full of adventure. So may it be. Amen. Let's say our closing, our chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
And now let us all join in our closing blessing song. Those of you in the sanctuary, you're invited to rise and to share in the accustomed or your own custom hand movements. So let's all sing together.